There, that's where we always are. Let's go. What are you so nervous about? You ready? You ready? Is Jason coming?
He's on his way.
He's one of our favorites.
He'd be one of my favorites if he would get them crowns that stay on their head.
Trump officially accepts the RNC nomination. Pelosi doesn't want any debates. Pageant talk and a whole lot more coming up on today's Wade and Carter Show. That hurt. Don't do that. You're lucky.
It's good to know I
Left
can
hook,
still get on your nerves.
Right hook didn't.
I can still get on your nerves.
Let's do this.
Wow, Deerland Feed, no foreplay weather. We just jumped right into that.
Right into it this morning.
Canadian honeymoon. 81 degrees in Victoria, heading to a high today of 98. Nothing but sunshine.
How's the weekend looking? People want to know.
The weekend, you think they want to know?
Yes.
Tomorrow, high of 98. Sunday, high of 98. Monday, 96, 96, 96, 98, 98.
I think the weekend.
Okay.
People don't want
Saturday
to know
and
it's going to
Sunday.
be nice when they're back to work.
Sunny and mostly sunny. 98 degrees.
Awesome.
Is that good?
I think.
No rain? No rain in the forecast?
That's not good. We could use some.
Man.
I got a whole 7/10 the other day.
The folks that have cows right now are concerned. The price of that round bale is going up. It is what it is. Cattle can't graze fields that don't have grass.
No, that's exactly it.
You'll be out there feeding. You name all your cows, don't you?
Yeah.
They all have names.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Would you, I mean,
Go see them every evening.
I haven't ever received any like ribeyes from the 240. They actually get sent to market.
Not these ones.
Oh,
No.
They're pets. You have pets.
Right now.
What does that mean? You get mad at them, you might make them into hamburger?
No,
Is it vigilante justice for you that makes hamburger?
They'll be bred this fall.
You know, the PETA folks, they don't want you to kill animals. They want you to buy your meat at HEB.
They don't want you to buy meat. They want you to buy Beyond Meat.
Beyond Meat.
And
Beyond
all,
Sea Meat.
and all these other things.
No. Let's see who's checked in.
BJ Nelson asks, "How can you eat a cow if you name them?" That's because these ones aren't the eaters. These are the.
It's a Bessie burger.
These are the breeders. These
Oh,
will
you're
produce the
looking
ones.
down the road. We're not going to name the calves. The
No.
cute little calves that come out.
No,
Victor Veal. That's Vial. We're in Victoria. It's Victor Vial.
Tara T-Bone,
I like the way you're thinking. Rebecca Ribeye.
Herman Hamburger.
There you go. I like it. Cheryl just rolled over. She turned the phone off and rolled over.
Good morning, Cheryl.
She ain't putting up with that. Hi, HR Mallory.
HR Mallory's in. BJ Nelson says Robert Ribeye.
Nice.
Greg Garcia's in this morning. Chris Conrad, good morning. He says cows taste better with names. Yeah, I agree. T-bone ribeye. Chuck steaks just it doesn't do it for me.
Look at that.
Larry Leahy says no problem with grass if you don't overgraze. Wow.
Here we go. We got a caller
already.
It's early, man. Don't ruin the vibe. Have something good for us.
Hello, good morning. Good, how are
Who
you?
we got?
Hi, Linda.
Oh, hi, Linda. How can we help? Okay. For who? Tell us.
Okay, and how old is Albert?
How old is Albert? No, but how old is he? So this is just a guy that you're stalking, right? It's like you're not really dating. He's just an acquaintance, but it's Albert. You don't know how old he is, but you want to wish him a happy birthday. So, Albert, I like the way you're working, Linda. I like the way you're working. A lot of good relationships start like this. Albert, Linda says happy birthday. She's been sitting outside your home watching you come and go, maybe taking some pictures. Sweet. Albert, you should know. Yeah, right. You should know who Linda is. She was sitting there in your home.
Her name's probably on the restraining order.
Outside your home, Albert. I like Linda. Tell us the whole. Go ahead. We just know you as Linda now. We don't have your license plate or anything. Tell us the story. What's the story with Albert? Oh, there you go. She doesn't know how old he is, but he's at least 30.
At least 30.
Okay. Well, happy birthday, Albert. Thank you for calling us. You made our day.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye. So that was Linda calling to let us know that she wanted to wish Albert a happy birthday.
Her good friend of 30 years, and she has no idea,
how old he is. Yeah.
But at least she knows today's his birthday.
Just let you know that stalking can be a long-term adventure if that's the way you choose to go.
And lead to friendships.
I like it.
Even if he doesn't realize you're friends.
Well done.
So,
You think she's calling another station now, or is that strictly a Magic?
I don't know.
Magic 95.9.
Lisa Poole is in. Judge Posey, good morning.
Hello, Judge.
Ryan Hopping.
Carter's
Jason Brandon.
mic sounds jacked up. Does my mic sound
No,
jacked
they
up?
were. I had to adjust a knob,
You
and
did?
we're good now. Yeah.
Touched my knob.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Let's see who else.
Hello, Ryan. Thank you.
Larry Leahy, good morning.
Oh, Lisa Poole said someone's mic is very hot. They see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fixed.
Fix the sound.
We
Judge
got it.
Posey. See, other people point out the problem. Judge Posey points out the solution. Fix the sound. Can you see what his house there? He's got his car. Fix the sound, you morons. You gotta love that.
Yeah, at least he was politer than probably what he was thinking.
Yeah, well, no, he's only going to put certain things in writing.
Andy Ria Jr., Fat Pat, good morning to you. Jeremy Pena, checking in from San Antonio.
I may have gotten a text.
Bobby Leister, Karen Webb, Matt Boucher,
T-Lat's in for sure. She told me that she's there.
Marvin Mickish, Lisa Pools was the first one in this morning. I went in reverse.
What does she
this
win?
morning? Nothing. Same thing as everybody else. Andrea Canning, good morning.
Oh, look, I texted Brent about Mike.
Yeah.
No response.
Jenny Youngwood Cooches is in. Amanda Bloschke, good morning. Steve Kidder.
Look at that. Those mics are hot. Now she's a
Not anymore.
radio
Now she's
critic.
she is. Jeff Fonseca, good morning. Robin Morgan Nippling, C.W. Bean. Greg Garcia says Sylvester Sirloin.
I
I like that.
I like that.
I'm guessing Chris Jansen doesn't name his cows for as many as he's got.
He's got way too many.
Way too many to name them.
More and more people. Y'all social distance out there. Please don't wear the mask.
Lisa Poole says she'll never eat Beyond Beef. Give her the real deal.
Beyond Beef. Can you imagine?
I just couldn't imagine.
Well, my deal is if you want to be a vegan, then just go ahead and eat greens. That's fine. That doesn't bother me. But don't try to make it taste like beef.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you do that? You're just certainly whatever you're seasoning it with to make it taste like beef is going to be high in sodium. That's just a fact. Why do that to yourself?
Yeah, I don't know.
How'd you get hardened arteries?
MSG, you got to put MSG in that. Makes it taste good. Jeremy Pena says, is it bad if you put 90,000 miles on your truck since the beginning of the year? Not if you're working.
Right. It's not bad if you can bill that to somebody.
If they were,
Right, look, BJ must be making money.
if they were from your front door to the mailbox, I'd call you lazy.
You ever, BJ Nelson, you ever total up Massiminos, give me close, how many miles White Trash Services trucks drive a year?
That'd be interesting to see.
It's a large number.
BJ says, what a great night at the RNC. The fireworks were off the chain, made the DNC look like a Zoom call. I don't know. Was there
It's not
video?
a competition.
No. Was there a bunch of reporters running out of the room to go see the measly fireworks display? But final night of the RNC. Obviously, the highlight of the night, Donald Trump.
He accepts
officially accepted the nomination. It would have been
yeah.
interesting. He said, you know what? Yeah, not feeling this.
If anybody would ever do
4
that,
years.
it would be Donald Trump.
You know, but I don't think so. I think the left was kind of hoping maybe, but I don't think it happened. Tammy Webb, good morning to you. But I liked his speech. I really did. The left, of course, is saying he did nothing but attack Joe Biden. But I mean, he's your political opponent. What are you going to do? They seem to conveniently forget that 4 nights of the Democrat convention was all about attacking
Oh, it was all just
not just Trump,
negativity.
this country.
Sure.
It was the most negative programming I think I've seen on TV outside from maybe elimination night on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette.
Right.
Right?
Joe Biden got the rose.
But I thought it was a couple of key points really stuck out at me, and two I thought were good, one negatively so. And I thought he was very correct in questioning Joe Biden's 50-year record of nothingness in Washington, D.C.
Agreed.
8 years as vice president that didn't accomplish much. And interesting listening to Spin this morning on that, where now one analyst was saying that Joe Biden's the reason the Obama administration was as good as it was, or it would have been a lot worse. You see how they're starting to frame this?
Mm-hmm.
Joe Biden was the brains behind the Obama administration, was how this is being spun this morning.
Boy, I bet Barack likes that.
Well, Barack didn't exactly give him a ringing endorsement, so I don't know what
George Soros was the
expected.
brains
Yeah.
behind the Obama administration.
So that was interesting.
Good morning, Sheriff Louderback.
And I think spot on. I think the fact that he hammered Biden and the Democrats on their economics and the fact that they put every other country first, except for the U.S. when it came to jobs, creating jobs, protecting American business and industry, yada, yada, down the road from NAFTA, which when I was in Canada, NAFTA was a great deal because it really benefited Canada.
No doubt. No doubt. It was a benevolent action on behalf of the United States to incorporate and help Canada and especially Mexico.
Yeah. No, and Scott Tomko points out that he spoke plenty about the positive things he's done, and I agree completely. But those are the things that the left are going to talk about because they don't want to give credit to President Trump for anything.
It is uncanny how there has been a significant peace in Israel, and people.
Well, aside from the Hezbollah sniper that was trying to pick off Israelis and international peacekeeper or international forces that are in that part of Lebanon or near Lebanon earlier this week. But
folks on the left have been quick to point out, oh, that was already basically happening. Oh, this was just a formality. I mean, Barack Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize just for opening a
just for being
dialogue
elected,
with the
basically.
Muslims. Yes, and Donald Trump has accomplished so much more in
I mean, the first significant peace development since Egypt and Israel.
Yeah, no doubt, and gets no credit.
None, because they don't like him. Because the minute he won, it was Orange Man bad, Trump derangement syndrome everywhere, and
even though Ash and I consistently take issue with things the president does, we're not just blind Homer right-wing extremists.
I probably take more exception with things he says than what he actually does.
Correct. That's what I mean. We take, but I'm going to say things he does. I mean, his words, the things that he has said, we've taken issue with publicly. And yet, if the man cured cancer, they'd find a fault with him. It's unbelievable.
And I think if there was one area last night where his speech just didn't resonate with me, and again, it's not. It was all the COVID talk, and some of the things that he's done or that have been done. The fact that we're in phase 3 of a trial for a vaccine that sort of speed has never been done for anything.
Right.
right? So I mean, we're getting there.
James Kurt says, let's not forget who was on watch when Benghazi occurred. Now, you'll remember that Benghazi, you had Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State at that time. And she's like, what difference does it make? That's old news that those people got killed and our ambassador got drugged through the streets.
And interestingly enough, last week, and it got buried in the DNC convention coverage, but I believe Judicial Watch, I think it was Judicial Watch, may not have been, but it was part of, or maybe WikiLeaks, unveiled or released a phone call between Hillary Clinton and the president or prime minister of Egypt at the time, basically admitting that they knew Benghazi was a planned attack and it wasn't in response to some stupid YouTube movie that was made.
Not at all. When the White House came out,
and she may have known it actually was going to happen.
Yeah, there's no chance that Barack Obama believed, even for a moment, that attack on the embassy and our ambassador there were in any way a response to an offensive YouTube video. That was just a lie to the American people.
But I thought, but some of the things that, comparing our response and death rates to other countries, I don't know that he had to go there.
No. He don't defend COVID. I wouldn't even fault the president at this point if he said, look, could things have been done differently? Listen, folks, this is consistent with where we've been on numerous political issues. He could have said, hey, things could have been done differently. This was uncharted territory. I'm not slinging rocks. I was listening to people that are doctors. I'm not a doctor. I was listening to people that were telling me my number one goal is the safety of our people, but a very close second is the preservation of our economy. That's my job, to make sure you have a job, to make sure you can pay for your kids to eat. So don't fault me when I look at everything. When the first question I ask is, what's this going to do to the economy? That doesn't make me insensitive. That makes me a president.
A realist?
That's right.
But I thought it was interesting that our vice presidential Democrat nominee, Kamala Harris, came out and was basically blaming the president for the fact that our kids aren't in the schools and economies have been shut down. And what I thought was interesting with that is, and she totally misses it, and if she thinks that the president has that much local control, she does not understand anything about government and should be the last one to be a vice presidential nominee, because the states were the ones that shut down economies,
right,
not the federal government. And the schools have been local decisions for the most part with guidance from the states. So again, the president has played no role in those decisions, yet the Democrat vice presidential nominee is trying to blame the president for decisions that were made at state and local levels. That tells me she doesn't have a clue what the hell really goes on in government and shouldn't be a vice presidential nominee.
I have to tell you what I find interesting about her is you've heard me say that Kamala, slept her way to the top or to the middle and all that. But the reality is she's a very smart lady, very extremely articulate, extremely educated, very, very conniving, very calculated in everything she does. I just find it amazing. If you get a chance to listen to Kamala Harris talk of late, she's become much more urban in her inflection and the way she talks. She's much more, it's you and me, people. I'm down here. I'm on the streets with y'all. Yo. I mean, really, it's amazing to me how that she has changed the way she communicates. She's one of us now. Hey, yo, listen up, people.
Adam Sugar says if I cuddled more, I wouldn't be so angry.
Wow, that's coming from Adam Sugar, better known as Mr. Warmth. Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. It's the number you need to know when your car won't go. They'll tell you Robert Atzenhofer, drop you off. Saw Tommy Taylor last night and his wonderful wife, Spring. They were out visiting with folks, social distancing, wearing a mask.
Of course.
Tommy was wearing 2 masks. His Indian name is Tommy Two Masks. But they said hi to everyone, told them we appreciated them being a sponsor of the show. They said, thank you for all you do. I don't know exactly what that means.
I don't either, but
they
we'll
do,
take it.
They do a great job. But Allen's Rigger Service, 578-6300. Reach out to Allen's when your car won't go.
Iceman is in this morning. Good morning, Iceman.
Rocket Oilfield Services, the only local owned and authorized AT&T retailer. It's all part of the Hartman Empire. Communication, surveillance, security. They do it all. Reach out to them for anything electronic that communicates.
Industrial, commercial preps, site prep. They can do all that for you as well.
Oil field work, right-of-way maintenance. It all ties together. Chesnick Furniture Company, 100 years of Victoria.
116 West Juan Lynn, right downtown. Beautiful downtown.
Corner Juan Lynn and Bridge, right across from the police department. Get by there. Furniture 50% off, celebrating 100 years since 1920.
They've got a great picture in the store that shows the construction of the police department. And I'm assuming the new city hall at that time too, possibly.
Yeah. Was that in the 50s?
Yeah. And
60s?
Chesnick is across the street already there.
Isn't
And
that something?
yeah.
Blowing and going.
Yep.
And then SCT Building Systems, Clayton and Casey help. They'll help you. Red iron, steel buildings, that's what they do. Build a steel building and put a nice veneer on it. Looks like a normal quote unquote house. But when the storms come huffing and puffing, it won't blow down.
No.
Reach out to Clayton, 564-8864. He'll take care of you.
HR Mallory says,
yeah,
yeah, sad that you have to add they were wearing a mask when you say you saw someone. And here's why. Some of the biggest headlines on CNN this morning were the fact that there was no mask and no social distancing on the south lawn of the White House.
I could not believe that. So they're talking about the president making his acceptance speech. And the reporter said, President Trump standing at the podium, speaking to a crowd, tightly packed, hardly anyone wearing a mask.
That's their takeaway from all that was said
I
last
was
night.
like, really?
And the speech, in my opinion, probably ran a little bit too long.
And they said, and he made lots of precautions. But he's the president. If anybody's going to speak as long as they want to, shouldn't it be the president?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Unless it's Justin Trudeau. We don't want him to talk.
Well,
Hello,
he's not
Calgary,
president.
Alberta, Canada. Hello, Canadian listeners.
The guy, good morning to you. Yeah, let's get our guests in.
All right, hang on. I'm going to do
Okay.
because they're out there just chatting.
They're chatting up, carrying on their own show. So we'll get things rolling here. Jason Burmeister going to join us.
Jason, get your crew together.
We'll turn things slightly.
Look, we have
We've got a big tiara coming in here, maybe two.
We have the Wade and Carter backdrop. There's a mic.
Yes, sir. How are you?
How are y'all?
We're good. How are you?
Excellent.
Right, you got to speak right into that microphone.
Yeah, you gotta get right on it.
We've disinfected them, so you're
And
good.
he's used to being on TV where they
Yeah.
drop the mic down and follow you around as you talk, but you got to talk right. I'm like, I right into it.
Okay, I'm right into it now.
A little bit more into it.
Hang on, we're gonna-
give you right there. Hold on.
All right.
There you are. You look fantastic. Good
Thank
morning.
you. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having us.
There you go. How are things?
Things are good. Things are good.
How's the pageant world in this COVID-19 craziness?
The pageant world is actually doing really, really well for the Miss Golden Crescent. I will say this year, pandemic or not, we had 38 contestants competing for the crown from Little Mister all the way to our brand new.
We'll get you to step this way just a little bit. There
We're
we
gonna
go.
get some more people in here. So
Yeah.
Okay, is that better?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
We can only see like a quarter of you on the screen, so it's a little weird.
you
I was
promised
a little
me-
max
You
headroom-ish.
promised me a tiara, and I don't have one.
Oh, don't worry, we've got one for you. I've got one for you.
There you
I've got a
go.
keepsake for you.
There you
By your office.
Thank you,
There
thank
go.
you, thank
I will
you.
definitely do that. For you
Okay,
guys.
we need that.
So we're an official pageant for you guys.
All right, awesome.
Absolutely. Constant reminder for our listeners. Look at that. The girls are out there. They've got stuff on their heads early in the morning. They're like, really? We got to go?
We got to get into this early?
Come stand in the background. You can look like background singers for Jason. Just kind of stand.
Stand there, wave. Let me see your pageant wave. You got it down?
Yeah, the
There
flag.
it is.
There it is.
Nice.
That's awesome. So just tell folks that may not know exactly what's going on. You just tell them what's going on.
So we're the Miss Golden Crescent pageant, and we are kind of in our second year. I shouldn't say kind of. We are in our second year. It started with my daughter's vision at the age of 16, which was formed into Love Yourself, which is teaching young individuals the importance of self-love, self-acceptance, and self-confidence. And together with my staff, we put together a system, which is the Miss Golden Crescent organization pageant. We're offering scholarships. I will say this year we doubled our scholarships. Our scholarships start off at $250 and go all the way up to $1,100.
Nice.
And
That's
so,
awesome.
Yes, sir. So during that pageant sector, we have an interview sector. So we have an interview that they go through with a judging panel of 4 judges. So after that, those judges go away. We bring in 6 new competition judges, and they judge for fun, fashion, and formal. And so during those competitions, they have a prepared question that they're given prior to registration, and they've got to do a prepared speech and be able to answer. So at that time, it not only teaches them interview skills, it teaches them public speaking, self-confidence, and they've got to wow these 6 judges, right? So
That's awesome.
yes. So at the end of the day, we're preparing these individuals for future jobs like at Formosa, Dow, some of the most impressive colleges, Texas A&M, UT. Not that no colleges.
UHV.
UHV. Yes, my daughter is actually going to UHV. She's not
Nice.
here this morning because she's getting prepared to get on virtual computer. So,
Right.
but she is going to UHV. She's first year. But 16-year-old's vision, we pushed it with my staff and I to make it a reality, and it's been a success. I will say, prior pandemic or not, we had 37 girls competing and 3
That's
little
awesome.
boys. 3 little boys competing
Cool.
for Little Mister. So we have Little Mister, which is Parker Winstead, and his Grand Duke is going to be Caleb Vincic, and then his Duke is Ashton Garcia. We move into the Little Miss sector, which is Gabriela Garcia, which is our Little Miss, and her Grand Duchess is going to be, she would kill me if I said I didn't remember that.
That's a lot of names, 37 kids.
It's 37, but her Grand Duchess, let's see. So Gabriela Garcia, we've got Lacey Vincic, who is her Duchess, her Grand Duchess. Girls, do you remember who the Grand Duchess is? We'll move into
Yeah. All right.
All right, young Miss is
It'll come back to him.
Caitlin Vincic and Brianna Espindola is the Grand Duchess, and then our Duchess is Mia Vaughn. And then we move into our junior Miss sector, which is Taylor Hammer here with us here in the studio.
Welcome.
And then her Grand Duchess is going to be Jocelyn Gilpatrick, and then Janae Mathis is going to be her Duchess. And
All right.
we move into the Miss sector, which this year we split it up. We used to be 16 to 20, and we split up the age groups and kind of made our little college division, which is our Miss, which is Anoa James. So at the end of the day, it's a great opportunity. I tell my kiddos it's not about the sash and crown. It's about
Oh, it's all about
It's
that
about the
crowd. Look at
process,
that
though.
thing.
It's about the experience.
integrity, compassion, and community service. So, it's not about a title like, oh, I have this title that's been here in this town. It's about, no, you're representing a title. You're making a difference. You're putting your face out there, and you're doing a good job with representation.
Now, did your daughter help host or did she judge this year? What did she do? What role did she play? Because I know she's in the middle of it. She's working.
She's in the middle of it. I will say we can't judge because conflict of interest.
Okay.
Because we build a relationship.
Yeah.
We become one big family, So her role in it is that she does assist me with registrations. She assists me with putting it together, as well as my wife and my son. It's
So it's a family affair.
It's a family
It's
affair
awesome.
with my staff, and I wouldn't say, I would say that it's not possible without these ladies that are on our.
So who do they complain to when there's an HR issue?
We take it as a group.
Right.
We go behind the scenes and we meet as a
Yeah.
group. It's myself, my wife, my son, my daughter. My directors that are up under us is going to be Jane Williams, Irma Garcia, Jane Cheetah Garcia, Amy Nolan, and Robin Hicks. And our newest member is Bethany Garza Long. She was a former Miss Victoria that decided to say yes to our program.
Nice.
And her and her husband, actually, what was so
Robin Hicks has a lot of pageant history as well.
Robin, man, me and Robin have been best friends since junior high. So we definitely have that connection there. But Bethany and her husband Caleb are giving back 10% of their sales to More Than Rubies. That's their business, and More Than Rubies was a big pageant sponsor for us. They gave gift baskets from $250 to $500 to each
Wow,
of the
nice.
overall winners. And
Nice.
so they're putting their proceeds towards stopping sex trafficking and helping the children here. So our stories connected, and so we were just excited. And I didn't remember who our Grand Duchess was. It was little Miss Mason Wood.
I knew you would.
Lucy Wood's daughter, Mason Wood. So Mason is a little bundle of joy as well as the rest of the contestants. But we're just excited. We're making a difference. And
You are, and you've raised awareness on a lot of different issues. That it's a different kind of pageant.
yes.
How can our listeners and those that want to get involved? How can they get involved? How can they help?
So getting involved, you can reach out to, like I said, myself. My phone number is 361-212-7565. You can visit our Facebook page, the Miss Golden Crescent Pageant. It's right on Facebook. We do have a website, which is the MissGoldenCrescentPageant.com. You can visit there, message us, and then, like I said, on Facebook and other advertisements, you see our staff of directors and they're via Facebook Messenger or have their phone numbers there to be contacted. So I will say another impressive thing is we have our babies and our tinies. So we had 39 that competed for that county title. So we
Isn't that
definitely
something?
set some bars and set some awareness in our community that says, hey.
And how do they win the crown? Is it just a race from one end of the stage to the other?
No, they actually, for our babies and our tinies, they have to go through a competition with. So they're on there, and I will say our babies.
So like super dogs, they've got to go through the
they
rings
go through
and
those,
jump over
yes.
everything, the
That
obstacle
jump.
course.
Now, believe it or not, our tinies, that's the most.
Yeah.
I say all of them are impressive, but our tinies have to get on stage and they have to answer questions
Really?
as well. So you get
Is that
to-
little people?
That's the little people.
Okay.
You get to see what's going to come out. Mom and dad and families are sitting in the audience like, oh my gosh, what are they going to say to this question?
Yeah.
You know? So,
What's the weirdest thing your dad's ever done? And dad just like shrinks in his seat. Yeah.
Or who's one little girl, Genesis Hawkins. Her. What was your favorite food? What's pancakes? Well, who cooks better pancakes, mom or dad? So mom and dad are holding on to their seats, and she's like, mom. So you learn and you become connected with these kiddos.
Dad stands up, liar!
I want to share with you young ladies right here. It says, in a world full of so many negative distractions, this is a welcome spotlight on a positive community influence. Bless you all. So when you're out there in public,
So
when you're
Jason,
representing
I'm going to ask you
pageant,
to step back because we're going to bring our two pageant
we're
winners.
gonna put
We'll
those
start with junior
communication
miss.
skills.
We'll start with a junior miss
It's junior
because I mean the miss has the honor of going last always, right? So
Mhm.
you got to get real close to that microphone, and you can bring it down a little bit too if you need to. So introduce yourself to everybody here.
I'm Taylor Hammer, Junior Miss Golden Crescent Court. I've been doing this for since 2018. I started with Miss Victoria, and then I had some downfalls, and now I'm slowly growing up.
Hey,
Nice.
good for you. Good for you. You're doing fine. I love your, is that a crown or a tiara?
I would call it a crown.
I would too.
I would too. It's
It's
bigger. I think
impressive.
tiaras are height restricted
Is that
by
right?
definition. I think I don't know. I'm making that up. So
He's Canadian.
Yeah.
He knows about tiaras.
Of course.
they have maple leaves on them. Yeah.
Right,
We're
right.
well
So
aware.
where do you go to school? What's going on?
I currently go to school at Kane Middle School. I'm about to be an 8th grader. I'm doing online school, which is unusual.
Really exciting, right? It's terrible, right?
Yes.
It's terrible.
I just want to go back to school.
So you like at home, like on a laptop with your crown on? Do you do that do you wear it every day?
I wish I could do that, but my sister will tell me, what are you wearing?
You still have to follow the dress code, right?
I know. It's so like, why can't I wear it?
Right? Come on. Well, you're doing good. So Kate
It doesn't really go with your plaid pajama pants, though, when you're in
No,
class. So
true.
it's clashes a little bit.
Mom's in the lobby, just like shaking her head. Is that your mom?
The one in the purple shirt?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's just out there just shaking her head. Like,
So what's been the biggest, most positive experience of being Junior Miss Golden Crescent?
The positive experience was I get to work with Jason and have our group come together.
Paid you to say that, didn't he?
No. You never know what you're like, oh, gosh, what are they going to say? But no.
Excuse me for mom, but it's about like helping the community. It's not about the crown sash, like he said. It's about getting awareness, like to sex trafficking. I personally want to have my platform to help kids with disabilities because that doesn't get any attention, and it always goes to cancer. And I just want that moment to have disabilities because myself has ADHD and my brother has a speech impediment. So I just want to connect with the community about that.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Thank you
That
very
is
much.
awesome.
Welcome to the show. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah, glad you. And by the way, thank y'all for. It's early, you know, Mom, and you got up. Mom looks great too. She's not in here, but thank you for taking the time to get up and come in. And
Thank you for having me.
let's get the big sister over here.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk to us. How are
Welcome.
I'm good. How are y'all?
you?
Good.
Tell us your name.
My name is Anna Lake James.
Awesome. I like the airbrushed eyeshadow that matches the shirt.
Thank you.
I'm going to guess that on a daily basis, you don't wear orange eyeshadow. You're wearing it to accent the shirt.
I mean, it's not usually orange. Sometimes I go with purple.
I like it. It's good. It's good. Tell us, I mean, what's your biggest takeaway? What's been like something that you didn't expect that has been a good surprise about being a part of this process?
Honestly, working with Jason's been great. I was really nervous about that. But also working with the girls. I usually don't get along with girls very easily, but they've been great. They've been awesome. They like working with the little ones just as much as me, and it's really nice.
It's too much drama with
That's
girls,
cool.
right?
It is.
Yeah.
I know I've got
It's
daughters.
true. There's lots of drama when you have, but this organization seems to be much more inclusive. It's not so much a competition as a general overall picking up of each other. I think that's awesome.
Yes.
And I know that was your purpose from the start.
It was. And so with us, kind of, you know, what we do is we get together once a month. We have our meetings. You can sit right here.
Yeah, we're not done with you yet.
We have our meetings, and so with that, you know, we have team building. We celebrate birthdays. We go for swim. Last year we did bowling. We did bingo. You name it, we did it. But when we put this together, we said from the beginning we wanted a team building experience so these girls could lean on each other, you know, during you know, strong and difficult times. And so it's really just come together. And Anna Lake here is our very first Ms. Golden Crescent, which is the MS division. It's kind of that college division
Yep.
that we said, you know
Right.
what, can't have a 16-year-old compete to a 19 or 20-year-old. Let's split that division up and give them an opportunity to walk away with a good college scholarship. She walked away with a college gift pack. You name it, she got it. I think Brother Gary Moses said when he was at the pageant, I told him almost that out in the lobby was, you know, back that truck up to the front
Isn't that
door
something?
and load those prizes up.
If Brother Gary was there, you know it was the right event to be at. But you know, I think you could hold your own with kids that are 20 years old as well. But good for you to have a division that gives you an even playing field. Some of those 20-year-olds just have a little bit more life experience and different things to talk about. But gives you another division to win
yes,
down
yes.
the road.
More opportunities. So,
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I'll let her take it back away.
So what are your plans? Where are you in school? Where are you at as far as school goes?
I'm in college.
Okay, so you're in college. Are you in college here?
Yes, I go to BC.
Okay, and by the way, VC fixing to start a new basketball season. You'll want to get out. They've got a new coach and a team that's I think is going to be exciting. Ash and I have been talking about going and watching some of the games. Really, they're seriously going to compete at Victoria College in junior college basketball. Really going to be a fun group to
I think
watch.
so. I think you're right.
That's awesome. That's the first time I'm hearing that.
No, and I know we're going to get the coach on here pretty quick to talk about it as well. But that's kind of Ash's gig is athletics.
So what are your plans for your future? Where
Um,
do you see yourself once you graduate college and moving on to the real world?
I want to be a pediatrician. So
Nice.
I've got a while of college left.
Good for you. Well, and obviously your organization, you deal with little kids, you work with children. It's giving you good life skills.
Yes, it's making it a lot easier to know that I'll be working with children.
Knowing that you can work with children.
She's only going to be a pediatrician for boys because she doesn't like working with girls. She said that I don't like girls. I'm going to work with the little boys. It's going to be gender specific pediatricians. I like it. Well,
Congratulations to both of you.
y'all are,
On your honors.
Jason
It's awesome.
knows this. You're always much more than welcome. You're invited. We love to hear the success stories that you guys have done. And we're here when you started. And hopefully we'll be here when it's on TV and Brother Gary's,
50 years from now.
Isn't that something? That's right.
Over.
you'll still be 35 years old. We'll be old. But congratulations to you ladies and represent the organization well. I know you will. And good luck with the homeschooling. I know it's, she's like a typical junior high kid. She's like, oh, I don't want to do
There's a
it.
Clemson vibe going on here with the orange and purple.
It is. There's a
right?
lot of orange.
Yes, we were guy. Very well known in the community.
And you are. Thanks so much for
Appreciate
coming
it.
by. When folks reach out, I'll get them in touch with you because I know there's going to be people that want to be involved.
Yes, sir.
So there's always opportunities for sponsors. If you want to give baskets or if you want to contribute to the scholarship fund,
support. Yep.
fantastic. It's an organization that stresses community involvement and good values. It's a family-based organization. And it all started with your daughter. She's just a tremendous young lady. So we're very excited to see this legacy go on. Ash and I joked if she gets to win every year. You know, we joked that she would be like the 8-time defending
Junior miss.
You know.
No, she didn't get to actually run.
Yeah,
So,
right.
I will say, yeah, she didn't get to actually run in it. So, but again, we're just excited. And
That's awesome.
Appreciate you guys supporting us.
Always.
I'm definitely going to bring that crown to
Yeah, we need the crown. We need the crown.
Here in your station.
We'll take turns wearing it on Fridays.
I'm definitely going to do that.
All right.
I'll definitely get that over to you guys. Thank you again for having us.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. Thanks, Jason.
Look forward to coming back and representing our
It's a selfless gift to the community. You do tremendous work, and we're proud to be associated.
And if you all have like a big event coming up and you want to come promote it, come on.
I will.
Anytime. You know that.
And we've already, I will say the girls have already paved their footprints immediately after pageant. We partnered up with Toyota, Victoria, and Melissa K. Rivera. And we were able to give 100+ backpacks to kids starting school. So,
Cool.
we're doing our next event this Saturday in Cuero. So not only do we support Victoria, but we're paving our footprints into the surrounding counties. So
That's awesome.
Hence the Golden Crest.
there you go.
There you go.
So I'm excited about our new year. So thank you guys again. Thank you to the community and the supporters and for much love, and we appreciate that. And blessings. If it wasn't for the man upstairs, we wouldn't be here.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much. Have a great day. Enjoy school. Moms, thanks for all you do. We know what it takes behind the scenes.
Yes.
And the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. Y'all look like champions as well. So good job and thank you much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Have a good Friday. Thank you.
You too. Bye, ladies. Be safe. Real quick break. Today's the last day to get into Veracruz.
Yeah, otherwise
You're done.
you're going to be craving it all weekend.
You've got to get in today. And-
You know what you could do so you don't crave it all weekend?
Ah,
Place an
casserole.
order for the weekend.
yeah, 576-6015. Get the casserole to go.
I may do that.
Take it home. That's a great idea. Enchilada casserole. Take it home. You'll be glad.
All
you have it.
weekend.
Absolutely. Veracruz, just another great Victoria family business. We appreciate your support and helping us with this format. Razor IT Solutions, I saw JP and Ember, his child bride, last night. They were doing great. They were having dinner. And he said we're representing him well, Ash. Razor IT Solutions, he's been getting calls from political folks wanting him to help them with their website, with their fundraising, with their pay button. And it's kind of a niche that Razor IT Solutions has carved out, is dealing with politicos and helping them develop their presence on the web. So
How did Ember get a night out?
Well, I guess Harper, the 5-year-old, was at home watching Baby Kevin. I guess I don't know.
I think that's how it went.
Just make her a double martini and leave, see what happens. But Razor IT Solutions, folks, reach out to JP Hull and let him solve your problems. At an Alfred dealership, as we said, we saw Tommy Taylor in spring last night, and
Since 1926.
I joked about it being
Not Tommy, but the Asnover
down
dealership.
the road from high prices. He just laughed on the Navarro Motor Mile. But his great grandfather, great grandma, Ed Atzenhower, started out selling the Chevy 500.
Pete Montana asked if Veracruz delivers to Vancouver Island.
Pete, we can get you something sent up there. I'm not joking about that. We can put it in dry ice and FedEx it.
Freeze it to you.
We could put it in the United States Postal Service. You get it like in April.
When you get your mail-in ballot.
When you get your mail-in ballot with your name misspelled. It's better if you get like 3 mail-in ballots. Yeah. Montana, Montana. It's all in there. With a vote Joe Biden sticker on it.
I will say this: when I go to Canada and I'm about 3 or 4 days in, I do miss Mexican food because there's just not good Mexican food.
Tell you what, that's a niche. You should open a restaurant up there. It would be a huge hit. You could open a restaurant in just about, for example, if you opened a restaurant in Dallas called the Old Virginia Inn. It would be broke in 30 days. But if you went to Virginia and opened a place called Texas Grub, it would be full 24/7.
Yep.
Especially if it sold Chick-fil-A nuggets. It would be full all the time. White Trash Services, BJ Scott Nelson, family business, great, 550-1826.
Jeff Fonseca says chalupa ballots.
Right? I feel like Donald Trump doing a bit there. You know, White Trash Services, super great. They're super duper. They do super duper garbage scooper. He talks down to his audience in such a way that I don't know if he's really that simple or if he thinks we're super, super simple.
Maybe.
I don't know. But BJ and Scott Nelson will talk to you about your specific.
You're going to talk to a person when you call White Trash Services.
550-1826.
Have a trash-tastic weekend.
If you have garbage, press one now.
None of that there.
None of that.
None of that.
We got any more content, or we just wrap this
No,
thing
there's
up
lots. Thought it was interesting study out of George Mason that got a little traction yesterday. Shows that the U.S. police force as a whole, about 35% fewer police officers on the street than the rest of the world as a whole.
per capita?
What's interesting, though, we have a significant more number of corrections officers, and our percentage of the prison population about 200% higher than the rest of the world.
So because we don't have enough police presence on the streets, we have more crime, which leads to more people being incarcerated, which is why we have more officers that are like jailers. Is that the takeaway from that?
Pretty much the takeaway, and the researcher at George Mason has some other interesting takeaways, and I've just pulled up the stats. We've got 154% more corrections officers than the average around the world. And actually, I misspoke. Our prison population about 300% higher than the rest of the world on average. And economist Gary Becker was one of the those who studied and said that they found that they did a cost-benefit analysis. If you double the number of police on the street, you would see a significant reduction in crime.
I believe that.
Capture rates would increase and deter crime as well. They found that a 10% increase in policing would reduce crime by about 3 to 5%.
I believe that a large percentage of crime is just crime of opportunity. It's not calculated. I sound terrible. What is that? Fix that.
That's called phlegm.
Right. It's called 205. It's crimes of opportunity. If there was a cop standing there, it wouldn't happen.
No.
So I tell the boys, character is when you don't do something, you act as if I were standing there. Would you do that if I was here? No, sir. Well, when you don't do it, even though I'm not here, that's a statement about your character.
The state of Virginia Senate passed a bill that would declassify abuse against police officers to a misdemeanor.
How do you folks feel about that? So let's say it used to be, and it probably still is here in Texas, that assault of a police officer, you're going to the pokey. It's just not done. It's something that collectively...
And they took away minimum sentencing mandates as well. I think at minimum, if you assaulted a police officer in Virginia, you would serve 6 months in the Hooskow.
So it's been something that we all collectively got together and said, look, we're going to take these guys. We're not going to pay them enough. We're going to put them in harm's way every day. But we're going to throw them a bone. Nobody's going to mess with them. If you assault an officer, if you resist arrest, if you slap, spit, hit an LEO, you're going to the pokey. It's just not done. We've all agreed that's the way society should be. You don't take physical issue with the police. Now Virginia is saying, well, we'll just make that a misdemeanor. It's like a speeding ticket. So if a cop's talking to you,
is this just not throwing fuel on the fire?
If you don't like what the officer's saying and you decide you just want to slap him, you'll just get a ticket for that. How do y'all feel about that? Good morning. Welcome to Wade and Carter.
Good morning.
It's Brad Miner on our mobile. What do you think about that, Brad? Right. It's just, isn't that silly? I think it's silly.
Confinement for assault and battery against a judge, magistrate, law enforcement officer, correctional officer, person directly involved in the care, treatment, or supervision of inmates, a firefighter, volunteer firefighter, any EMS personnel. It can no longer be committed as a simple assault and must result in bodily injury. So unless you do grave harm to that person, doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah. So if you just decide he's going to give you a ticket, well, it just irks you. So you punch him in the chest, just a misdemeanor. I'll just check a box there and give you another $50 fine on your ticket. I think it's terrible. Yeah, they lose their job, and then people take that as a ticket to riot and loot, and they call that reparations.
Well, and our irresponsible media jumps to conclusions immediately, doesn't wait for all the facts, and when the facts do come out, the narrative never changes.
Right. Exactly. Tell me this, the other day you had reached out, you needed to make contact with the VCS companies. Did you get satisfaction? Did things go the way you wanted them to? Good. Fantastic.
Awesome.
I knew it would work, but I think that's awesome.
Those 50 cal turrets that are motion sensor detected will work wonderful.
Christopher Conrad said they included judges. That's interesting. That's our word of the week. It was the word of the day yesterday, but interesting is now. See, when Ash has told me from day one that radio, Brad, is theater of the mind. So Ash believes that he can tell you, like, well, listen up, Brad, this is interesting. And he enunciates it clearly so that you know that he means it.
Well, and I enunciate it the way they taught us in the KGB.
Interesting. Oh, very interesting, comrade. Yeah,
exactly.
So when he says it's interesting, then the average listener believes it's interesting.
We don't have average listeners. We have way above average.
It's like sleight of hand via the airwaves. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Nobody listening to you right now would believe that you're sitting on 3 volumes of the Houston Metropolitan Yellow Pages and that you have to push the accelerator with a broom handle because you're only 3'7". Nobody knows that listening to you, but I just painted a picture of one Brad Miner sitting on some books. Now, what? Give me the real stats. Say like Brad Miner on a mobile. The real stats are what? 6'7", 6'10", 475. You'll see him. He's in the Chevy truck, leaning to the left. You're the guy that gets out and right. It's like, why are the tires on the left side always wearing out?
They got the airbag suspension.
Exactly.
Well, hey, Brad, we appreciate
thanks
that.
for calling, buddy.
You do the same,
my friend. Be well. How about that unprompted plug for VCS? I mean, he's just got it.
I was prompted, but it was unscripted.
Correct. It was interesting. It was very interesting and believable, not unbelievable.
HR Mallory points out that we weren't technically correct. You can still go to jail on a misdemeanor, but you get
what HR saying is if you punch a state trooper, you're going to the pokey.
Well,
for something.
Yeah, and what this law says is you've got to do some serious bodily injury to any first responder now and anybody else in law enforcement in order to be elevated to a crime that really matters.
What gets me though is it seems like the timing is very suspect. It's almost inviting people. Hey, you don't like the cop? If you're willing to pay the fine, go ahead and take a poke at him. I think you're going to see a negative spiral in folks choosing to join law enforcement. We already have a problem in this country luring great folks into law enforcement
And keeping them.
That's right.
I think the average career length in law enforcement now is 3 to 5 years, somewhere in that range.
Yeah. It's amazing. I know
And we struggle in Victoria. We heard it in this region in talking with both Dale Fowler and Justin Martin, candidates for sheriff, of retaining and recruiting
getting
qualified
good
people. I
training
know
good
in
people.
talking with former Chief J.J. Craig and David Brogger, recruiting is a huge part of what they do, and retention is an issue.
Well, JJ believed, I don't know the exact accuracy. I know that it was make no mistake, he had an agenda when he shared this with me. But JJ Craig does believe and can show you on paper where from raw recruit through academy, through education, and onto the street, a rookie officer has already cost the department $100,000 to get him on the street. So then to turn around and lose that guy over better benefits or $100
more
a
an hour.
week, yeah, it adds up to where we end up becoming a training and proving ground for these young officers, and then they leave, which is a totally separate issue.
But is that also just the nature of the size of Victoria? I mean, we're sort of the same way for
We're a tweener.
our police chiefs and other people in higher roles as well.
We're a tweener. We're too little to be big, and we're too big to be little. So
PJ Nelson's retention with JJ, he left.
exactly. What did Coach Poole say?
Zach Vella, who played baseball for us, moving into the Victoria Police Academy.
Zach from Victoria East, outfielder. Great kid, great young
kid.
man.
Yep.
Yeah, like him a lot.
Very
He was-
focused, very driven, very, very mature, excellent leader, excellent student. Proud of what direction he's taken. I think he's going to do wonders.
Yeah,
He's
he
going to rise
was
through the
kind
ranks
of
pretty quickly, I think.
Coach. You'll remember he was 1 year ahead of my Kyle, and was really a solid athlete. Nice young man. Good for him. We haven't heard from Terry Poole in a while, and
Just did.
I know, but that doesn't count. Can we, Coach? Would you maybe check in next week with us?
We'll line something up and talk a little bit about. We'll preview some Jags and talk a little bit about the shortened MLB season.
You know,
how that's rolling along.
I've asked Ash for your cell number numerous times. He's protected you. He's never given it to me. Terry's Ash is like, hey, yeah, I'll have Terry call you. Yeah, I'll give you your number. Hey, I'd like to call Coach. Yeah, I'll give you your number.
Yeah, I'll give you your
I'll
number.
come and call you. Yeah. Coach, we hope you're doing well. Glad that you dodged a hurricane at your home in Houston. Appreciate all you do, and we think the world of you here at Wade and Carter.
That took me. Terry says, "Thanks, Ash."
Thanks, Ash, for not giving it to me. See that, Coach? All right.
Took
I
me
can
back
find
to
your
junior high. Remember, you liked the girl and you went through her friend. I'll get her to call you.
Yeah. I was at a reunion. I won't mention names. But I was at one of our high school reunions, and a friend of ours, mutual friends, I was listening to this group talk, and one of the guys lives in Austin. And he's always been a little bit aloof, and we just don't talk. I see him at reunions, and I played ball with him. And one of our buddies goes, "Hey, give me your phone number. I'd like to catch up. I'll give you a call." He goes, "No." He just, matter of fact, no, that's okay. I'll find you.
I'll see if the next reunion.
Yeah. It's like, forget it. It's not happening.
No,
I'm not giving you my number.
You don't need a number to get by Uncle Musk for great barbecue all weekend long. Just stop on by. The only numbers you need, they open around 11.
That's it. Beautiful segue.
Thank
Not
you.
forced. It just
No,
flowed
just
right
flow
out.
right in.
Fantastic. Uncle Mark's, Uncle Mutt's. Brisket, ribs, sausage, chicken, turkey. They've got it all. The side dishes are extraordinary. A lot of folks.
We've talked about it here.
Just get the sides.
You could eat a different meal every day for the rest of your life,
Oh,
and you
no
would
doubt.
never eat the same thing twice.
No doubt.
Same three
You
combinations.
would though, because you'd go back and you'd get
I love their grilled potatoes. It's
and
become my
you'd
new
get
favorite.
ribs,
And
and then
ribs.
you'd have a little piece salad. out of
No, I'd probably have
deference to me.
the fried sweet corn.
If you went every day, they'd probably even do like some pickled treat for you.
They
or
might.
some cheese curds or something. If that's what you want.
Pickled tree, that's too much like head cheese. I just can't do that.
Just the whole.
They don't have that there. Just the jelly in the meat just does
It
not.
just doesn't gel for me.
Not at
What
all.
happens if head cheese gets like hot in the car? Does it just run everywhere?
I don't know. Never happens.
I don't. Right? You go straight home. It goes yummy, yummy. You got to have some of that.
It never happens because it's never in my car.
Great Barn Design. Reach out to Cheryl 920-6803.
Come to think of it, it would never have happened back home because it always seemed that it was in the winter when my dad was bringing head cheese
Head
home
cheese.
from my
They
grandma's.
slice it like a piece of brain in there. Oh, liver.
My grandma used to make it.
Unbelievable.
Could never do it.
Your grandma
My
back
grandma,
in the old country?
from the old country, yeah.
Sure she was.
Could never do it.
Unbelievable. Grandma Putin. Grandma. Wow.
Yeah.
Khrushchev. Grandma Khrushchev.
You don't joke about that.
They're after me. I know they are. Sorry, folks. Wind services, Wind Electrical.
You need it. Now's the time.
Generator.
We got a little scared from Marco. We were a little bit concerned about Laura. Don't be that concerned about the next one. Have the peace of mind of knowing that the next time we get a storm coming through here and your power goes out, generator's going to kick on.
Kicks
You
right
will-
on.
You will not be inconvenienced
Natural gas, propane,
and
they got it all.
discomforted at all.
Diesel. They all work.
Solar powers with a battery backup, they can do that now for you. It's amazing the technology.
Fonzie,
It's a
I
lot
agree.
more affordable than it ever used to be as well.
Head cheese just sounds terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I know Terry knows.
USA,
knows
I'd
that
like to
cheese
see
too.
what if Terry was always an elite athlete. You know he was good at everything he did. I bet he was a great basketball player. Not to mention at the time, Terry Poole might have been the tallest man in Canada. I mean, I look him eye to eye. He's a grown man. It's like, just a kid. He'd still hit 280. You put him out there right now, they throw that mush up there, 98 miles an hour, paint the corner. Terry'd slap it the other way, especially against the Dodgers. Hated the Dodgers.
His knees might be at a point where he's probably stretching that double into a single.
Like the Hawk. He could be like I just drew a blank on the Hawk.
Andre Dawson?
Andre Dawson said, I
I
want
could
to
draw a
play in
blank on the Hawk.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Give me that grass outfield. I could sit and talk to Terry Poole all day, which is why he's glad you didn't give me his number.
That's exactly
I
right.
would like for Terry Poole
Restraining order.
just to tell me about the experience of playing at Wrigley Field. He went up there, I'm certain on numerous occasions. Watch this. He went with Nolan Ryan getting the start at Wrigley Field and Terry Poole playing right field. I'd love to hear that story.
I'm sure he's got a million, really. I've heard a few. They're pretty good.
Oh,
Look at Terry says he loved head cheese. His mom made the greatest head cheese ever.
memories like the corners of my mind. My mommy making head cheese. Oh, it's nasty.
No, there'll be no head cheese if you call Great Barn Design to, unless you want it as a centerpiece
You
of
want it like a
decorations.
centerpiece shaped like a brain.
But
920-6803.
Cheryl will decorate your event, design your event, plan all those aspects for you, and a lot of little extras that come along with it as well that you wouldn't expect. She's
Terry,
just
treat
phenomenal.
or click? Treat or click? Which was your
Prim.
favorite? Prim. Which was your favorite and why? USA Concrete Coatings, 578 Home. Reach out to Charlie Garcia. He started out, he would level your house. Then you'd have those cracks still in your garage. They fill those, level everything, sand it down, put a concrete coating on it. Looks
all in
brand
one,
new.
all in one day.
All in one day.
It won't chip, it won't peel, it won't crack.
Cars look good on it. You can also do patios.
You don't want to park your car when they're done. It
No,
looks
you
so
want to
good.
sit out there and visit.
You want to be in. You want to
Trim.
be there.
Treat, click,
You could eat it off the floor.
fried
Won't leave a
spam
grease.
sandwich.
Won't leave a grease stain either.
A fried spam sandwich is not bad.
No.
Dawn would never. She would never.
I like fried spam. Not gonna lie. Or prim, or click or treat.
They're all there.
They are.
Did you ever eat any Underwood's deviled ham? it came like in a little tin, but it was wrapped in white paper. and had a little
Janice
red
Earl
ribbon.
says your mom made great cupcakes.
Yeah,
Never for you, apparently.
no, she made them to go. Janelle and I, we had
She made it for
college,
everybody else in the neighborhood.
Right.
You never got one
Carter never got any.
from your own mom.
Yeah, you heard that story about the old man. He's there and he walks in. He's been, his wife is distraught. He's been told he has a terminal illness. He's got days to live. He walks in. He's feeling kind of down and walks into the kitchen. His wife's baking. He reaches over and picks up a warm chocolate chip cookie. She slaps his hand. Stop. Those are for the funeral. That's the way it was at my house.
That's the way it was at
Everybody
yours?
else got the cupcakes.
Jeff Fonseca says spam tacos.
Look at that good rucksack field food. I think James Kurth romanticizes. He did a lot of service overseas, but I know now where he doesn't think he has issues. He doesn't have PTSD. He has post sleeping over the nuclear reactor disease. Yes, syndrome. It's like he's got a bubbly, glowing personality. It's from the nuke.
P. Sutton's
Right. He slept on it.
trying.
All right, folks, we got to get
Yeah,
out of
we do
here.
gotta get
The
out of
Hall
here.
of Famers out there chomping at the bit. He's excited. He gets a half hour without Brother Gary this morning.
Bob Wally says he buys spam so he can donate it to the food drives.
Exactly. What a great guy, Bobcat. Hey, we love you, folks. Hope you have a great weekend. Just this weekend, let's start this weekend. Try to sow some harmony. We've got a great city. We've got a great group of folks here. Let's all try to get along. Have a good one. Take care, folks.
Bye, folks.